hate you. The demons hate you. The demons hate you.
Rainy Noodles is 1 minute late to stream. Fuck you, YouTube. Started this shit late.
You will develop the mental effects.
Fuck off, YouTube.
There is a rapid, very complete loss of contact with reality.
I'm willing to do what's right, and I don't want to go through what I'm going to go through.
There is a rapid loss of the body image.
I'm willing to do what's right.
The body's sense of time.
I'm willing to do what's right.
The body's natural clock just ceases to function.
I'm willing to do what's right.
Realistically speaking, they are nothing more or less than a period of insanity. Of insanity. Of insanity.
Okay, now I'm hearing shit out of my sound bar. All right, what's going on? My hair doesn't look the best. I swear, it doesn't matter how fucking long I comb this shit, dude. It just doesn't. It's just a nightmare. A fucking nightmare. Fucking Jesus fucking Christ. Whatever. Anyways, hurry it up, reshade. Hurry it up, reshade. Hurry it up, reshade. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I feel like the fucking Sonic in the what's this the Sonic OVA. Strange, isn't it? That shit. How you doing, Fizzle? Siri, what are you doing? I didn't say anything about Siri. Why'd this stupid ass bitch come up? Why'd Siri come up? Okay, anyways, I'm gonna be shocked if we don't somehow finish this trial tonight. I swear to God. I'm waiting. Fucking hell, dude. Okay. We're almost halfway through the year. We started this trial around like Christmas time. It was literally Christmas when we started it. Fucking half a year later, we're somehow still not fucking done with it. Holy shit. How's everybody doing? Fuck, man. Fuck. Oh. I hope everybody's ready to have a good time. Fucking Christ. Okay. Today, things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. What's this big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with your stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Oh, God. Every time I come back to this, I forget what voice I give everybody. All I know is Phoenix is like the anime protagonist or some shit like that. And then Maya is just the same voice but higher pitched. It's like Chris Chan when he's all like, I'm gonna voice Sonic Chill. It's like Chris Chan in that one video. He's like, it's like, hey there, Rose Chill, let's go kick that Eggman butt. It's like the same fucking voice. God damn it. Okay. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push it too hard. I think Edgeworth had the Linkara voice. Whoa. What are you doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. Oh, did she shock him too? I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Johnny Viscount, thank you so much for subscribing. Where have I heard the name Johnny Viscount from before? That has to be someone impersonating someone mildly notable. I can't fucking remember. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge? Right, good idea. She's about to step into a fucking Chuck McGill's house. Fucking shock the shit out of him. His electromagnetism allergy goes crazy. Okay. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Man, I love the writing in the series so much. Oh shit, it was good. What's gotten into that girl? Detective Gumshoe? Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How did it go, detective? Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I'll feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name, but that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. I'll take a potato chip and eat it. Look at... I'm surprised there's not like a Death Note, like Ace Attorney crossover or something stupid like that. I'm surprised there's not a Death Note Breaking Bad crossover. Like any two things that have anything to do with crime or the law. I'm surprised Death Note hasn't touched it. I'm surprised Breaking Bad hasn't touched it. I'm surprised Ace Attorney hasn't touched it. Fuck. But I like when Ace Attorney just randomly, magically crosses over into other Capcom stuff, and then that's it. Like the Street Fighter 6 update. That was what, like a few months ago? I don't fucking know. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. I remember he's got the Jay Kaiser voice. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. God damn it. Understood. Every time I do one of these streams, I'm reminded of like how shitty it is to voice act for like 3 hours, basically. My voice is like fucked the next day, which sucks because I gotta be up early tomorrow for work. But oh well, fucking oh well. Oh, come on, don't be odd, but it's a silence like every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right, thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Didn't this guy have a... What voice did we give that guy? I think it was like Herbert the Pervert from Family Guy or something like that. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Wait, Nash, why did you run away yesterday? Care to explain? Hold on, wait. Don't I have that? Here we go.
Care to explain?
There we go. Care to explain? Okay. Witness was not running away as he will now testify. Very well, please begin your testimony. Oh, fuck.
I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow, or, I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is.
Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. Oh, this fucking game, dude. I'm really sorry about leaving yesterday like that. Hold on. I'd call what you did running away and not just leaving. You heard Larry's testimony and realized you were in danger. Now, Mr. Wright, there's no need to rush to conclusions. As I said, the witness was not running away. Listen to the testimony. He sure seems relaxed. In fact, they both do. Von Karma and Yanni Yogi. I wonder what Yanni Yogi, what that name is supposed to represent, because all the other Ace Attorney characters, their name is like a pun. So, like, what the fuck does Yanni Yogi mean? I'm just realizing that now. What the actual fuck is his name supposed to be? Then why did you leave? He's just about to say why. Is it so hard for you to just quietly listen when someone is talking? If I sat quietly, Edgeworth will be guilty in 3 minutes.
I went to buy some food for Polly.
Food? It's like fucking Solid Snake. I got food.
Well, Polly is a bit of gourmand, you see. She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown.
But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to your caretaker's shack?
Well, I kind of got lost, you see.
The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's going to believe that. I see. So he was wrong. Please, Your Honor, come to your senses. Okay, hold that bitch. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct?
Yup, seems like it.
Then how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, huh? You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old codger's head? That's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness. Please continue.
I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one.
Okay, wasn't there like a... Don't we have... Because this is... Hold on. DL6. Wasn't there like a document or something that we had that was like, hey, get revenge or some shit? I vaguely remember something like that. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness memory of the past or lack thereof into question, but does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness said he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Order. Mr. Wright, there's a serious problem in your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Now this is getting interesting. I would like to know myself, so who is he? Don't play dumb, Von Karma. Please tell us the witness's name. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi, that name seems familiar. Yanni Yogi from the DL6, the lolly lule low. That moment always made me laugh in MGS2. What's his name? Oh fuck! I keep forgetting his name, which is funny because it's Fortune's father. Anyways, and for some reason I thought I knew her name. Now that escaped my mind. Never mind. You guys know who I'm talking about. But that guy, when Oslock comes up, he's like the lolly lule low. It's stupid. It's like without the context of the rest of that game, it sounds so fucking stupid. It's like what did he say? And it's one of those things I like about Kojima. Just like the stupidest fucking shit is like an integral plot point in everything. Fucking, it figures the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. Hey, add me on Discord. I could. Oh, come on, man. Come on, another Twitch bot. Come on, man. Nice pitch. Oh, fuck. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Tisk. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This witness is Yanni Yogi? Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more, the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see, that makes sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no... Oh, yeah, this was something that tripped me up when I first played this case. No fingerprints!
You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff, yep.
What? Yogi, you sneak! You burned your fingerprints off to hide your past!
Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we will not be able to prove his identity.
No! Well, what will you do, Mr. Wright? Seems that the case has been decided, no? No! I know it happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one.
Nick, what are you going to do?
I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief, Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. This is where it takes a crazy fucking turn, by the way. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to. Your Honor? The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up on my proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. Order. What do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, still want to go through with your little game? Let the parrot take the stand. I'll cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least I think so. Bring the parrot. So yeah, this is the origin of the meme. Like, I know some people have definitely seen this before. That's quite the bird. This is where it comes from. This is all the context behind it. This guy has a parrot. Please tell us your name. Name. The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well, witness. Who is Your Honor? Please are testifying for us.
Hello?
Certainly the most concise testimony we've heard so far. Very well. May you explain? Right. What are you going to do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya?
Hello?
Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right. What do I say? Have we forgotten something? As I recall, 2 days ago... Polly, have we forgotten something?
Don't forget DL6.
If I can get Polly to say that here, that will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something?
Hello?
That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot. Something we forgot.
Hello?
It's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Something the matter, Mr. The fucking shit-eating grin accompanied with it. Wait, don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have he couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when we asked if we'd forgotten anything? Okay, so let's try the other option then. What's your name? Oh, wait. Maybe it'll repeat the safe number and then they'll be able to go back to the boathouse and find the letter that I was talking about earlier. Maybe I should get her to say her name. Polly, what's your name? For context, I played this court case before. It was just a long time ago. Polly. Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity? Yes, it does. Fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity. Then show us this proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is... Oh, companion of the boat shop caretaker answers to the name Polly. Do I just show the... There's no way I just show the parrot. Because it... Okay, yeah. I was saying that might be a little bit of a stretch. But I hope you learned this by now. Making random guesses here is a waste of the court's time. Uh-oh, wrong again. Continue your testimony. Okay, let's try the third one. That's funny. Usually I get the right one. Usually I get the correct one right away. But yeah, I am thinking it's what I was thinking earlier, where the parrot lists off the safe number and then they go back and they actually check it. Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number on the safe in the shack?
1228.
My, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, I forgot I was doing the fucking Jay Kaiser voice. You aren't claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Ridiculous. How can the number of a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? Didn't we get something out of that safe? Just like I was saying earlier, I feel like we got something out of that safe that was like, oh, don't forget. This is what you need to do. Trapped in an elevator. One bullet from heart. Polly Jenkins. Memory loss through the... I forgot about this part. Fuck, Polly Jenkins. That's what I was supposed to show. Fuck. Okay. Well, now we know. Link this number to the caretaker's identity. Because we don't have the actual letter, do we? I think we might have put it back, right? Or did we give it to Von Karma? I think we gave it to Von Karma, didn't we? This is how long ago we're continuing this from. No one would believe this if I believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. I don't know. Let's just make a guess or something. DL6 case file. What is this obsession you have with that case? Where in this file is something relating to the safe number? Oh, fuck. So I accidentally did make the right choice. Okay. Something related to that safe number. Oh my god, it's the date. It's right there in the fucking... Okay, case summary. It's on the case summary page. I actually don't know if I took this route. I think what I did was I showed the other page when telling them about the parrot's name. I didn't realize this case had multiple routes to go about it. That's actually really cool. Specifically, the date on which the DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident. December 28th. Why, that's today's date. 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. Bah, this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM's card number to 0001. I forgot about this line. Because I'm number one. This has nothing to do with the date. Nothing. So maybe I did do this one. Unless he brings that up some other time. I don't know, but I remember him saying that. I'm learning there's a little leak for evidence in the murder trial. We would need some other corroborating evidence. Where am I going to find that? One more if we can get one more piece of evidence. Very well, witness, you may continue. Okay, I know what to do now. Took a little bit of a roundabout way. I guess there really wasn't like a wrong answer, was there? Because I never really saw like the health bar in the top right of the screen. So I guess theoretically there's no way they had like lines programmed for everything. Every little piece of evidence. Okay. DL6. And then where did it say Polly? On like page 3, right? So suspect data. Okay. So it's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on then? Show us or stop wasting our time. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please show us the page. All right. What got leaked this time? Oh no, are people actually here because they thought it was leaked? No, I was just fucking around. I didn't think anyone would think that was serious. Oh, that's funny. What's up, Penna? All the vodka. Is that why there's people here? They thought the title was sincere. It's in the title. Yeah, but like it's Ace Attorney characters on the title. It has nothing to do with DMC. Oh, that's so funny. It was just me fucking around. I hope everybody's having fun. Is that why people are here? Because of the DMC anime? That's so funny. Oh, that anime is pretty tight. I liked it a lot. Oh, fuck. Man, my brain is working off 4 hours of sleep. Oh, that's understandable. How you doing, man? I'm doing pretty good. How are you? It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly. Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, there's no like leaks about season 2 or anything. All I know is it's confirmed. That's it. I imagine Virgil's gonna play a part in it. I mean, the end of it kind of suggests that. So that's all I know. My bad. I didn't think anyone would think that was sincere. I didn't think anyone would think that was sincere. Got a free Yoo-hoo and a nice untaxed 20 bucks. Oh, hell yeah. Living the all-American reject dream. Oh, untaxed 20 bucks. That's fucking tight. Oh, so what, you got like a tip or something? That's cool. I guess that is possible. A mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix, right? Does that make you my granddaughter's fiance? I forget how funny Manfred is. She's only 7. Oh, she's only 7 years old. Yeah, a tip. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, this is a possibility. However, 2 coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. What are you saying? Pause. What do you mean pause? Summon the caretaker to the boat shop immediately. Witness, tell us your name. Wait, this witness, he doesn't remember.
No, it's okay.
Oh, fuck, I forgot he stands up like that. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done.
Nick, he looks totally different.
This is the real Yogi, I think, finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. acting for 15 years. I like the face he's giving too. Let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court.
My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court.
He kind of does look like Revolver Ocelot.
I served as a bailiff in this very court.
Yanni Yogi, so it was you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death?
Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago.
Expanded the physical game collection, got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, Twisted Metal, Fight Night for PS3, and Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Oh, hell yeah, Mega Man X. Oh, I've always wanted to play Rondo of Blood myself. That's the one with Victor, right? Or whatever the fuck his name is. Anyways, it was the old school Castlevania game that was released, I think, after or before Symphony of the Night. But that was one of the ones I wanted to get around to. And Twisted Metal too. Yeah, shit. Fight Night. Oh, that's so tight. That's so tight. Richter Belmont. Yeah, Rondo of Blood, not Victor. I'm a fake fan. Anyways, yeah. That's the game I've always wanted to get around to playing personally.
Robert Hammond. He said I was mentally unsound. What happened was I was pretending to be liquid.
And then Fine Karma cuts in, and he's got like an eye patch on.
Cats really do like to play as snakes.
Rondo of Blood was before. Okay, yeah, it was before. But I remember it was kind of like Castlevania 5, basically. And then then they went like the whole Metroidvania route. So that was what I kind of want to get into. That one and like Castlevania 4 are the ones I want to play the most, because Castlevania 4 is kind of cool. It's like a reimagining of Castlevania 1, but on the Super Nintendo. And like some of the visual effects they had with Mode 7 and all that shit, from what I've seen, it's just really, really impressive stuff. And then Rondo of Blood, I mean, wasn't like quite as ambitious from my understanding. I still want to play it though at the end of the day. But yeah. Castlevania is just such a tight ass series, especially like those earlier games. PS4 is Castlevania, Requiem, Rondo Blood, and Symphony of the Night on digital P. Okay, yeah, that's probably why I thought the two came together. It might have been part of that collection. But that's fucking cool. Oh man. Hell yeah, and then you got it physically too. I gotta buy like way more physical games. Konami Portal. I know, right? I know, right? What the hell? They're the worst at it. They're the fucking worst. Oh my god. Oh.
He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. Don't use a medium, Phoenix, or I'll know. I lost my job, my fiance, my social standing.
I got the 2.5D remake of Run. Oh, I didn't even know that game had a remake in quotes, but I didn't even know they remade it. I guess, quote unquote, remade it. That's interesting. I didn't even know that version of the game existed.
Then this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a revolver. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who sent it. I thought it was my chance after 15 years. This was it.
No, my arm. He goes crazy again, turns into liquid. Brothers! Or no, he turns into Edgeworth. Oh, fuck. So, man, I wish Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate was on PSP. I got it on Steam, but still. Oh, that was the, Didn't Kojima do like a Castlevania game? Speaking on the topic of Metal Gear Solid, wasn't that one of them? Lords of Shadow. I know there was like a beat 'em up Castlevania game and Kojima was behind it or something like that. I'm trying to remember. Oh, wow. Did the music stop? I kind of thought it looped forever. Oh, shit.
Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean?
I am not at liberty to speak on the matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond.
How did Ocelot's voice actor not go fucking like his vocal cords go fucking like dead? Holy shit. That is such a hard voice to do.
Von Karma, where is Mr. Yogi?
Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession.
Then the defendant Miles Edgeworth is
Innocent, in this case at least.
very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared for suspicion of this particular case. So I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond.
Kojima was a producer for the Lords of Shadow Castlevania game. Mercury Steam did most of the work on Lords of... Oh, okay. So like producer, is it like Capcom where they flipped director and producer around? Because I know in some of the Japanese development studios that was how it was. The producer did the director's job, and then the director was more like the producer. A lot of weird shit like that when it comes to like some of those slightly older Japanese games. And then I think they flipped around again since then, so it's really weird. But I remember, what was the game I was thinking of? I remember there was some sort of Resident Evil game where like people think it was either Kamiya or it was Shinji Mikami, but like people think they were like one of those guys were like super heavily into it, into like the design decisions, and it turned out to be a completely different dude. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different game. No idea. All I know is that Mercury Steam is a Spain-based. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even know. Oh wait, that sounds familiar. They made like a 3DS game or something like that. That was kind of interesting. I forget which one, but yeah, shoot, that's fucking cool. That's so tight. I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything?
Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
He's fucking not guilty, dude. Except I think there's still more to this case. We haven't quite solved it yet. Because I remember there's something involved with Von Karma.
That is all. The court is adjourned.
I think we do end up solving DL6 at some point. Uh-oh. He's got the shit-eating grin.
Did someone just say objection?
It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No! Edgeworth?
Your Honor, I object to your judgment.
What do you mean?
I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what?
Nick, Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty.
Yes, Mercury Steam did Castlevania Lords of Shadow Fate on 3D. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Or no, I must be thinking of a different developer then, because I remember there was like a visual novel game, and for some reason I thought Mercury Steam did that one too. Something like that. I don't know. I could be entirely wrong or entirely correct. probably more so wrong. But oh, that's cool. That name sounds so familiar though, Mercury Steam. I know they made something else that I played. For sure.
He's going to tell them that he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad. What do I do?
Mercury Steam also did Metro. There you go. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's probably where I heard of them. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst.
Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed.
That would be Larry.
We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth.
He is right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. For 15 years, I had a recurring dream, a nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself, but now I know. It wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer.
You mean in the incident where your father died?
From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. I hate how much I have to blow my fucking nose. Hold on. God damn it. Oh, that's awesome. God damn it. Fucking hell. The best part, I still feel really clogged. I I need to get some use next, dude. Fuck. Fuck, oh well. The murderer. The criminal in the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations, which ends today. The culprit is me. Unrelated news, DMC HD collection got a big mod for DMC3, DMC. Oh yeah, I have heard of that. What's the whole thing with that mod? Because I've been having a lot of people tell me about that. Order. This is certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. It's obvious. We hold a trial right here, right now. We try this man for his crime 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. Oh, fuck. On-the-fly style switching for all 6 styles. Full weapon switching. On-the-fly switching between Dante and... Oh, okay. Holy shit. That's a lot. Okay, that's cool to see some of those Nintendo Switch features get integrated in that too, because I think there already was a mod for that, but I tried installing it and I could never get it to work, which is really funny. I remember there was some other dude, when I was playing DMC3 on stream, there was some other dude trying to get me to install it, and I attempted to, and I don't know what the fuck happened. It just the game just wasn't taking it. Really weird. Your webcam is... Oh yeah, that's true. Hold on 1 second. Isn't it Ninja or something like that? Fucking webcam cover. I'm sorry, right? I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Redworth, I don't believe it, sir. I mean, you kill your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, detective, but it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy, just crazy. Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh, I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case for what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. Man, I wish Doom the Dark Ages wasn't $70. I wish all games were at $70. That's so shit. Just a complete shit situation. And then, like, you know, the price is only going to go up more. Like, I guarantee you when not DMC 6, GTA 6 finally comes out, when GTA 6 finally fucking comes out. I've talked about this rumor a handful of times. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like $100 once that shit finally comes, because there's no way they're not going to do that. You got to imagine how much money. I ain't paying $70. I know, right? The Devil May Cry show just seems ass. Who said that? Oh, how you doing, Skeleton? The Devil May Cry show just seems ass. Anyways, so imagine all the money that they're like drowning in GTA 6 development And like the more time that they spend making that game, the more money it's costing them. So the more likely that they're gonna be all like, all right, $100 for the base game. And the worst part is people will buy it just because it's GTA 6. And you know what? I kind of get it. You wait so long for a GTA game, you're hyped. That second trailer was really fucking awesome. Like, I get it. If you buy it, that's understandable. But just know, Activision, EA, they're all licking their fucking chops. They're frothing at the mouth. They're like, who's gonna do it first? Somebody's gonna make it okay. Somebody's gonna make it okay. The DMC Netflix show wasn't for me. I thought it was pretty all right. I liked it quite a bit. The Devil May Cry show just seemed. It's funny. But yeah, GTA 6 must fail so I can avoid the $100 price increase. I know, right? I got mixed feelings on it because like I know it's going to be a pretty good game and I'm going to want to buy it, but on the other hand, it's like I don't want it to. I kind of don't want it to come out. And GTA 6 is going to be. That's the other thing too. Like when GTA 5 came out, that was before so many disappointing games would take so long to be developed and then they'd come out and be shit anyways. So how do we know that GTA 6 is actually going to be good? Because it's in between. More power to you, Raiden. I know. Fucking in the time between GTA 5 and GTA 6, you got like fucking like Fallout 76 and like Anthem, all these other fucking games that were just like ass on top of ass on top of ass on top of ass, and they were made for like half a decade. They were worked on for like half a decade, and like they still came out as like a big pile of shit. And I have to wonder, like, there has to be some point where it's not sustainable and they can't make a good game no matter how long it takes them to develop. Unless Rockstar has that much money and that much resources, I have a gut feeling that GTA 6 might not be that good. Like, it might be all right, but the level of scope it would need to top GTA 5 is kind of impossible at this point. Like, just, I don't know. That's my hot take. But it's either we break or the industry break. I know, right? I know. I'm not looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm glad people are agreeing with me on this. Like, I'm sure it'll be an okay game. Like, I'm sure it'll be all right. There's no way it's gonna be good after this long and how many resources are poured into it. The trend seems to be that the longer you spend on a game, the worse it turns out. Because it's I think the reason why it happens that way is the sunk cost fallacy. You spend 4 years developing Fallout 76, so you better get it out so you can at least make something back. You know what I mean? One of those things where it's like, you know, it's not going to make too many people happy, but damn it, you got to do it. And then Fallout 76 was kind of lucky. No Man's Sky also, where it's like it at least managed to turn around with like a skeleton crew keeping at it for years afterwards. But like, that's something that GTA 6 probably wouldn't be able to survive. Like, Cyberpunk was barely able to do that. And the gaming industry is too stupid to break. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, what a weird shit show we're in right now. But yeah, I'm not excited to see those prices go up. Fuck, man. There was something else I wanted to comment on too. At least I ain't paying $70 for digital game. Yeah, that's the other thing too. We're like, what is Nintendo doing with the Switch 2 again? I think the digital ones are cheaper. There was no way Fallout 76 was made in 4 years. That trash looked like you. I know, right? That's the funniest part. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's like the longer they spend on it, the worse it turns out. So I don't know. I'll give No Man's Sky a pass. I heard their office was flooded during. Oh, really? Holy shit! I actually didn't know about that part. They were also like a much smaller studio than Bethesda too. Like, they also get that semblance of credit. So of course they were going to hang on really hard to that game, because like Bethesda probably should have just canceled anything that takes way too goddamn long to develop and like takes way too much goddamn money, and probably just focus all that resources on something else. Whoever developed No Man's Sky, I forget the name of the developer, but I know it's like a much newer company. They don't have as many resources. My understanding of it, anyways. I might be wrong. Something Nintendo Switch 2 will break if you attempt to buy. Oh yeah, that too. I think Switch 2 games are supposed to be cheaper if you buy them digitally, something like that, or maybe it's the inverse. I have no clue, but there's not really going to be any reason to buy a physical Switch game anyways. Because the thing that pisses me off about the Switch 2, first of all, I wasn't really convinced to get a Switch 2 in the first place, but like the thing that vehemently like sold me on not getting it was just the fact that you buy a physical game and you still have to download it afterwards. That's kind of ridiculous to me. It defeats the whole purpose of having like a handheld console, because then it's like, now I gotta have whatever, I gotta plan ahead of time what games I want to play if I ever take it on like a trip or something like that, because I'm not downloading that shit off of like hotel Wi-Fi. All these like 4K games are gonna be like 60 gigs plus. A game shouldn't cost 1/5 of my paycheck. I know, right? Completely fucking stupid. I could be wrong about the No Man's Sky thing, because brain functioning on little sleep. I know. That does sound. You know, I think I could kind of corroborate that though. I feel like I've heard that before somewhere else, but I don't know, man. One game shouldn't cost that much. I don't know. The weird thing is all the people defending it too. Well, the other thing I don't get is so many games are so littered with microtransactions and DLC, and I thought the reason we had that was to make up for the inflation and keep the $60 price tag for everyone else. I thought that was the reason we were like milking these whales dry. So the fact that we're raising the base prices of the games and then getting even more predatory with that, it just goes to show you that it really does just stem from greed. It has nothing to do with like sustaining anything or justifying the cost of making any of these games. It really does boil down to they just want to maximize the amount of money they make, and they just aren't able to do it with DLC at this point. I don't know. Just kind of like depressing in the grand scheme of things, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. One of those things where I'm glad I don't play. One of those things where I'm glad I comfortably sit here playing my older games, my big Steam library of games that I bought on sale that I haven't gotten around to playing yet. My big ass fucking library, my giant backlog. And I'm like, I don't need to buy any new games. I don't need to buy anything new anymore. Games going digital was supposed to make games cheaper. I know, right? That's the other thing too. It's like, it's completely stupid, because the problem is you need servers to host those games as well. And I get it. I guess they're already putting that infrastructure in if they're doing the online and stuff like that. But like the problem is that's something that's eventually going to expire. Whereas cartridges, it's gonna hold the data for that game as long as the cartridge exists, right? So shitty thing in there where it's like there will be a day where like the Switch 2 will be like 7 years old. That eShop is gonna go down, and like you can't play like the open world Mario Kart, whatever the fuck it is. I just buy games for $2, Jedi Knight and Jedi Academy. Exactly, yeah. I just go on Steam. I just wishlist a bunch of shit and then wait for it to go on sale and then just buy it. And I amass like a big collection. And then I just kind of slowly play whatever the hell I want. And then there's some games that like I just keep playing infinitely, like Monster Hunter and Fallout. Just, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where I kind of just don't need to buy newer games. Steam sales themselves are, I know, right? They are, but you can get so much more value out of a Steam sale than like one new AAA game. Like a lot of people are talking about the Doom game that just came out. I know that's what you were mentioning Penne, but one of those things where it's like, yeah, the new Doom sounds good, and like I'm sure I'll want to buy it at some point, but I'm not in any rush to buy it and play it right now. Is the thing. Like everybody's buying it day one so they can see like the next chapter of the Doom story, and it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of content where I am. I think I'll just experience that later on down the line when there's like a deal on it, because that's exactly what I did with like 90% of the AAA games that I've actually bothered to buy. And I don't know. Honestly, the more games that I buy and I play, the more motivated I'm starting to become to pirate at the same time, because it's like all of these games are just going to be abandoned and I'm not going to be able to buy them anyways. That's at a certain point. Like Nintendo's actively preventing us from purchasing a lot of these games at all. They just don't want us to play it. It seems like otherwise they'd be all over this shit. They'd be nickeling and diming us for every fucking like N64 game that we missed from like our childhoods and shit like that. If they really cared about that and they really wanted to make money, they would do that. It just makes so much sense from like a business perspective, but for some reason they don't. So it's one of those things where it's like I've just accepted that Nintendo and like some of these other companies are not gonna archive or keep any of the shit available. So one of those things where it's like I'm considering just like pirating at this point. Here are my issues with Doom Dark Ages. $70 for just a campaign with no multiplayer team deathmatch. Wait, so it has even less content than Doom Eternal and Doom 2016? I thought it was ridiculous that Doom Eternal didn't have a level editor. Like when that came out, I thought it was stupid. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a downgrade. And then it at least had like the new PvP mode, but I at least has like the new PvP mode, and that was cool in its own respect. But it's like the big reason I played Doom 2016 was all the custom levels that were in it. It was so cool to check out people's levels and shit. Doom Eternal, I basically only played the single player campaign, and then Penne says, like, I'm sorry, but the Doom Dark Ages just seemed like a Doom Eternal expansion pack. Also, Doom Eternal had no team deathmatch or level editor snap map. Exactly. Finally, someone else who missed a snap map. I know, right? I know, right? Nobody ever talks about it, but it's like, it's one of the few reasons I still play Doom 2016 every now and then, because I like Eternal's gameplay a lot better. I like the Eternal mechanics, but it's one of those, if I just had snap map for Eternal, I would be really happy, but like I don't. So just really stupid. really stupid. And to hear that Dark Ages has even less for like costing more, because Eternal was $60 as well. Battle mode sucks in Eternal. I know, right? No, like the good old Quake style PvP in Doom 2016, I was all over that shit. The Slayer versus Demons mode in Eternal was okay. It was all right, but I still preferred like the Doom 2016 PvP. The fact that Dark Ages has none of that at all is surprising. I feel like they would have gone like reverted back. I feel like the shield would have been like a cool return to that old school PvP, like more mechanics that you can utilize. But I don't know. Fuck man. Fuck man. You can say the same thing about Eternal too. You think Eternal would make a better PvP game than 2016, but I don't know. Just a weird ass shit going on there. Man, give me deathmatch. Give me deathmatch, man. Now that I'm hearing about that, it's like I also heard that the game is what, like 10, 13 hours or something like that. Something like that, and it's one of those things where it's like if it doesn't have any of that side content, then that's even less worth it. I'm not one who likes particularly long games. Like I'll play a game multiple times instead of just playing a longer game. But the problem with that is with no snap map and no multiplayer of any kind, that's a hard pill to swallow, like altogether. Because you're missing half of the shit that made Doom 2016 so awesome. I don't know, man. That's so sad. I didn't know that. That fucking sucks. Holy shit. Hold on, let me get back to the game. Gumshoe says he confessed that he did it. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe in your nightmare. What? I think new Doom peaked with 2016. I'm kind of mixed on that. Like I feel like in terms of content and just like the identity of it, I think 2016 was where it peaked, but I like the mechanics and the weapons of Eternal way more. I think Eternal is like a more like mechanically fun game. The fact that it has like that butchered multiplayer mode really drags it down. Doom 2016's only flaw was not having the meat hook. I know, right? Yeah, it's, I don't know. That sucks. That's even less reason to buy Dark Ages, because me, like I was saying earlier, it's like I'm not in any rush to get that game and experience it. And like now that I know it doesn't have enough to justify the $70, it's like, yeah, I got even less. I'm glad I'm sticking by it. I'm glad I'm not even bothering to buy the game, because like I don't know, this fuck. It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. Fade that shit to black. All right, so. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge Miles Edgeworth has admitted to his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? This is why I made the thumbnail, by the way, this part of the case, because like it's red versus blue. Like it's stupid. And it was Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. Right, I'm stuck in the elevator. What are you doing? What are you doing, step lawyer? Squiggly, there's people in this stream who thought the stream title was sincere. No offense. I thought it was obvious it was a joke. That tends to be a problem with some of my videos too. Sometimes I'll make a joke where like I put enough behind it where it's like, all right, I hope people understand that I'm joking. And then like I get a comment soon afterwards that's like, I don't understand why you had this opinion. That seems like an unreasonable opinion to have. And it's so funny because like there will literally be the word sarcasm on screen when I say that. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like not blaming anybody, by the way. Comedy is so fucked nowadays. Man, my brain is running on no sleep. No, this is what I was about to say. Like, comedy is so fucked nowadays. It's kind of difficult to tell what's non-ironic and what's ironic. So, like, on like a huge hand, I actually kind of get it when people like don't understand that it's a joke, because it used to be if you said something ridiculous, people would just default to knowing it's a joke. The problem is nowadays with influencers and politicians, they constantly say all the super ridiculous shit and they actually mean it. So therefore, because we live in a climate where this is the norm, now the ridiculous funny stuff looks like the norm. and now you kind of have to think everything is sincere or everything is a joke. It's impossible to tell the difference between the two. So actually, I probably should have considered that when I made the title of my live stream, DMC Anime Season 2 leaked. Because that explains why the other dude came in here and was like, hey, what's up? And then left immediately. He probably saw Ace Attorney on the screen and he's like, what the fuck is this shit, man? So maybe I'll avoid that. We are living in the American reject dream, brother. Absolutely. Exactly. But yeah, if the joke flies over your head, don't feel bad about it, because that's just kind of the world we live in now, where I'm not going to say comedy is dead, but it's gotten exponentially harder. So we are all insane. Oh, fuck, man. Oh, but no worries. People need trust. People need trust issues. Well spoken. People need trust issues. Fucking. Don't avoid it. This shit is funny. Absolutely. I think it is. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. I should, that would be, comedy is eternal. We are all dumber. I don't know. I like to believe everyone is around like the same level of intellect. Personally, like people tell me I'm smart, but I very much disagree with that. Like if you watch one of my videos and you see like the premeditated writing of my videos, like yeah, I guess you could say I'm smart. The problem is then you catch me on stream and it's the polar opposite. But still, I don't know. Personally, I don't know if it's necessarily people getting dumber. I think it's just the fact that like we're so, like I was saying earlier, the things that were previously established as ridiculous are no longer ridiculous. They're just normal at this point. So it's kind of hard to come up with something ridiculous because it's like it's already moved over here. Unless you can somehow just like just brute force it over there. Being smart is subjective. It's entirely subjective too. That's the other thing about it. I don't know. Just interesting. But you guys get where I'm going from. You guys get where I'm coming from. I'm sure everybody agrees with me. Comedy is fucking awesome, but man, it's getting harder. It's getting harder. Being smart is subjective. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. I'm a dumbass and people think I'm smart. We screwed, man. Our world idiocracy made of flesh. Exactly. That's the other thing too. The standard for what is smart has gone down so much that I really don't think smart necessarily exists anymore. I don't think dumb really exists anymore either. I think we're all on the same level. It's just different kinds of intelligence at the end of the day. Like, actually, perfect example. A lot of my coworkers at my day job, they're in like their 20s. They're like college students. They're studying to be like EMTs and astronauts and shit like that. Like they obviously know the things that they're deliberately going out to study. But when I see them out on the field or when I interact with them, I can tell that they're not smart in terms of like mental. Like they're not intelligent as in like having confidence or being able to believe in themselves. So they tend to get hung up on little things, and I can tell already it's like starting to upset them, and it ruins their entire day. They don't have mental fortitude like an older gentleman like myself who's kind of been around the ringer a handful of times. So one of those things where it's like it's not necessarily that anyone's smarter or dumber than anyone else. I think it is purely just the fact that like we're starting to get to the point where everything has gotten so close that the only way we really can differentiate ourselves in intelligence is just what we're expertise at. I don't know. Street smarts, social smarts, exactly. Book smart. I was never book smart. I'm money smart. Makes me more intelligent. Except Jay Easy's got that shit figured out. Anyways, but it is better. I guess if I had to weigh the two competitively, like competitive philosophy or something like that. Okay, my elo in philosophy is like 600 or something crazy like that. Anyways, if I had to weigh the two together, I would say money runs the world. Exactly. It runs everything. And we're kind of starting to see a shift in mentality towards money. It used to be money was such a taboo thing. But I personally noticed, especially like in the last year or two, there's been sort of a rising upsurge in people accepting the fact that it's okay to want money. It used to be if you wanted money, you were greedy and you were an asshole. Whereas now, in my last job and in my current job, if you want money and you make it clear you want money, you get further ahead in the company. And it has nothing to do with greed. Wanting money means you're a harder working person now in the right environment. And that's me personally. I enjoy money, but on the other hand, I enjoy earning money the most. Me personally, that's why I like talking to people. I just want to be happy, man. I don't want a lot of money. I just want a home of my own. Exactly. And personally, what gives me a lot of happiness is just earning everything at the end of the day. So that's why I work as hard as I do for all the things I do, just because I like the satisfaction they're earning. Speaking of those like 20-year-olds, they don't think about it the same way. They just kind of want to have things given to them. Or even when I talk to other people my age who just don't have that much life experience, they kind of just want things given to them. And you know, I was very fortunate growing up. I kind of did have everything handed to me. So the experience of working hard and actually earning something for me is that ecstasy is heightened compared to someone else, I feel like. So now I'm like a workaholic machine in a good way. I'm excited to work hard and earn all sorts of shit because my entire life I've kind of just gotten everything I've ever needed or wanted for very little effort. But like now that I have it and I worked hard to get it, it feels extra good. It feels more meaningful now. There's more tangibility to it. I don't know what the word you would want to assign to it is, but don't confuse money with power. Power is power. Exactly. That's the other thing. Like I was saying earlier, we're starting to dissect money from power, you know, money from greed, all these other things. When the prices of everything is fucking going up, you kind of start to realize money isn't associated with any of those things. It just happens to coincidentally live alongside it, but you can totally separate it. Dante's Hollow Ground says, on God, I know, right? Old people who bought their houses 2 nickels and a piece of gum back in the 70s making fun of people who can't afford 400K house. Man, fucking boomer. I know, right? I know, right? I don't know. For sure, it was easier to earn things back then. I will say that too. Like, without a doubt, rain and noodles, politics, and monster dicks. I know, right? Politics and monster dicks. Oh, fuck. Any topic that gets me riled up like this, I love talking about on stream. But yeah, full disclosure, if you're here because you thought there was going to be DMC anime season 2 leak, because I've seen some people in the chat. If you're here because you thought that was going to be the case, the title is a joke. But I hope you stick around because I like it. This stream is so fun. Anyways. But no, for real. I think we're starting to get to that point, that level of maturity of like, you know, money kind of is everything, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Wanting to make more money means wanting better for yourself. And at the end of the day, you got to take care of yourself, man. Like, yeah, it's nice to take care of other people too. But the second I started like prioritizing myself, honestly, my level of energy has been completely like crazy. You know, I say this as I'm overweight, but for real, man, just like the world as it exists today, I think it's bringing out the worst in all the people who do have power, but I think it's bringing out better in all the normal, like sane people. On the other hand, it's more the older gens not helping out with the generational. Exactly, that part too. Not only that, but like generational trauma. Like, what's funny is my family comes from El Salvador. So my father's side of the family comes from El Salvador. So just by being loosely associated with that country, and all the batshit insane stuff that happened there, it somehow boiled down to my dad and all of his siblings, and then down to me and all of my siblings. And it's one of those things you can't escape. And it's, in my case, I'm not going to say like people are outright racist to me, but people don't recognize me as a Latino. They recognize me more as white because like they don't consider El Salvadorian to be part of that section because they want to disassociate from it. You know, El Salvador in their eyes is like the child abuse country. It's like the child abuse and like Americans came over here and killed like women and kids country. Like that's, it sucks that people remember it for that because it's a cool place now. But anyways, fat Maxers rule the world. Look at our press. Exactly, dude. I don't get generational trauma. It's just long line of divorced parents from South and North America. I kind of get it because like I'm still feeling like the fallout of shit like that personally, where like people find out I'm from El Salvador and then they're like, oh, and then they're like, well, you're not a real Latino, and it's like, well, that kind of fucking sucks because I feel like I am, but I assumed you were Italian American. That's the funny thing too. I get told so many things. Some people think I'm half black. Some people think I'm half Italian. Some people think I'm half Jewish or full Jewish. I've had so many people tell me they thought I was Jewish. Really funny, but I don't know. Personally, I don't care that much about it. It's just one of those things where it's like, just existing in like some sort of portion of history, even if I was not directly there, for some reason has some weird ramifications on me, even though, like I said, I was nowhere there. But I don't know, just, it's not that big a deal. I've always just ignored it, but it's just one of those things. I do think older generations kind of have an obligation to help us out because they're also our parents at the same time. I feel like my parents did a really awesome job as far as like the generational handoff. My parents set me up for success, honestly. I make pretty good money and I enjoy my job quite a lot, but I know for a lot of people, like, they don't really like their parents because they're Generation X, and Gen X is kind of seen as like the abusive, like neglectful generation. I personally don't see it that way, but again, I'm biased because my parents are Gen X, but they were good parents, so I don't know. Rainin is a little fat German boy. Mama says my Latino ass looks Jewish. I know, right? It's funny when you're half white and you're half Latino, the default is just Jewish. Like, people don't really consider that. Not that I really care, but like, it is one of those funny things where nobody considers like the Latino option, or it's always half black or all Jewish. But whatever. I don't fucking care, dude. It's whatever. But what the fuck were we talking about? Anyways, yeah, wanting to make money, nothing wrong with that. I think we kind of cleared that base. But yeah, dude, I'm really enjoying chat tonight. I'm glad we got some people who are actually talking about shit. But believe it or not, a handful of the time when I'm on stream, it's either like, have you seen this DMC thing? And it's like, yeah, that's cool and all, but like, it's not interesting. Or like, we're all American here, man. Exactly. Well, you know, a lot of my audience when I first started out used to be all international. Now I have a lot more American viewers, which is really funny, and that came from making Resident Evil videos. I don't know how the hell that happened, but really funny how that turned out. The world is American. I like my mom and dad. Unfortunately, divorce doesn't lead me to getting a lot of help. Yeah, and that's fair enough too. Like you were saying earlier about like generational trauma. Divorce being like more I'm not saying it's wrong to divorce, but as we move away from like the boomers, divorce becomes more and more accepted, and unfortunately it means like your mom or your dad has completely destroyed credit, or like they just can't do things that they need to be able to do at their stage in life. So divorce is kind of one of those weird things. My mom and dad are kind of divorced, but not legally divorced, because if they did that, it would fuck both of them in terms of their credit. And like, my dad owns stocks, so it's like, how does that get divvied up necessarily? How does the wealth get divvied up? So they don't live in the same house, but they still talk to each other, and they still like share money and share resources together, because the both of them realize that if they legally finalize that process, it would completely fuck everything for both of them, and also technically me and my brothers. So one of those things where I don't know, divorce, both are really good and a bad thing. Really depends on who you ask. America owns the world until it doesn't. That day will be a very sad day, because it's going downhill really fast. Honestly, I watched the TikTok council hearing, and holy shit, those people shouldn't be in charge. Exactly. That's the other thing too. It's all elderly people. It is all elderly people, and unfortunately, they have no. I was keeping up. Okay. How do I go about explaining this? So the whole Meta FTC antitrust lawsuit that might obligate them to sell Instagram and WhatsApp. I've been following that because I kind of want to buy stock in whatever company acquires those services. And I also kind of want to buy stock in Meta, knowing that Meta is just going to recover from it. Just looking at the state of the world, just looking at the history of all of the various scandals that Meta has gotten into, I know that they'll get in a heap of trouble and that stock price is going to lower. And that's when I'm planning to buy and then just wait for them to recover and pretend like none of it ever happened and then sell. So that's kind of been my strategy. So I've been closely, anyways, the reason why I mentioned that, that's my motivation for following it so closely. I believe at one point in that antitrust lawsuit with the FTC, they had to explain what social media was to whoever was hearing it. And that part boggles my mind because it's like, why is this guy deciding this then? He doesn't even know what's going on. Like, this judge has no concept of what any of this means. And it's probably the reason why Facebook and Meta always get away with this shit. Because every single time Facebook gets in like a massive controversy or something like that, every single time you hear in every single hearing, Mark Zuckerberg has to explain what something is. And Mark Zuckerberg is the last person you want to explain what social media is because he's trying to defend himself right now. So of course he's going to skew it in a way that's favorable towards him. I don't understand why they don't like. It would make so much sense to employ a judge who knows about these things. You know what I mean? Just such a weird thing. I know it was bad, but it was atrocious. Billy Joel said it best. We didn't start the fire. It was always exactly since the world's been turning. We didn't start the fire. We tried to fight it. Zuckerberg will make money. Exactly. And I'm hoping to make money too, honestly. Like if the bad guy is going to make money, fine. I'll try to make money off of it too. When I put on earphones while watching TikTok, can TikTok hear my brain? No. I have to look into this. If Zuckerberg can recover by getting a better haircut, follow that train. Exactly. I have never heard of the country Singapore before. Is it in Europe? No, they don't even know how to use a map. Yeah, Squiggly's got a good point, dude. They should not be running any of this. And like, hence the reason why they keep getting away with it. It doesn't matter how many controversies Meta gets itself into. This is the reason why they're always able to recover and they don't have to answer to anything. I don't know. Such a shitty and bizarre situation, honestly. I've never heard of the country Singapore before. Jesus fucking Christ. God damn it, man. That can't be real. But I had to look into that once stream ends. Well, I got to go to bed once stream ends because I wake up early for work tomorrow. But fuck. I definitely got to look into that. Because Jesus Christ, that's great. Something, I remember hearing some other thing about that too. I wish I could remember exactly what it was. But another thing about TikTok where it was like, are they spying? Are they spying on me through? I don't know. Squiggly has the best example of it. Where it's like if I put on earphones while watching TikTok, that's so fucking nuts. Holy fuck, dude. Jesus Christ. Okay. Edgeworth says, my father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted to stop them fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. Isn't Singapore in Asia? Yeah. I like how they tried to give an educated guess. They're like, that must be in Europe, right? And then it's the other continent. Oh, fuck. That's awesome. We need a GeoGuessr judge. Oh. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out and I lost my memory of the events. The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. If I'm on an airplane and I turn on airplane mode while on TikTok, can TikTok talk to the plane? That one's like a tiny bit understandable because they tell you to turn on airplane mode while on an airplane. Man, I just want to roast. I know, right? Roast the shit out of those judges. Did TikTok talk to the plane? It's got talk in the name of it, man. Fucking fuck. I just wanted to roast some marshmallows on the world. Don't get me started on my feelings on TikTok, by the way. That's like a whole other tangent. We're never gonna finish this court case, but you know what? It's fucking tight. What was the trial your father was involved in on that day? I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know my father lost, and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney. Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details. That was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. So there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator? Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but then as time passed and no one came to help, my father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure. What did you do then? I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then, just then, something fell at my feet. What was it? A pistol. I assume it was the bailiff Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have came off when it fell from his holster. Oh, fuck. And you picked it up. What happened next? I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted to stop them from fighting. Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous, but the air was getting so thick, I panicked. So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi? Did the loony bin guy turn chat already? Yes, he did. The thing that made it so funny was he looked exactly like Revolver Ocelot, and I couldn't help myself. I was in a daze. Look at Ace's here. This game is so tight. Moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. This whole stream is so tight. The gun fired once? Yes, I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream? It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. To this day? Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live. There it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence, but I don't know what that means. I better find it quick. I love that he looked exactly like Revolver Ocelot. Still bears clear ballistic mark. Photograph of the scene of the murder. But I might need to reread that. Hold on. Moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. I wanted to stop them from fighting. Just then, something fell at my feet. Wait, where was the contradiction? He said there was one, and then now that I'm reading through it, I'm like, I don't see it. Hold on. There was a single gunshot, then a scream. Terrible scream. I remember it to this day. There it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence. What does the evidence say? Oh, wait. DL6. God damn it. Air elevator was oxygen depleted at the time of incident. No clues found at the scene. Returning from a lost trial with son. One bullet found in heart. The murder weapon was fired twice. Oh, shit. He didn't hear the glass break. One gunshot, but 2 bullet hole. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Squiggly reminded me of it. Fuck, it's been so long since we last played this. Fort Baylor trapped in the elevator with the Edgeworth's memory lost due to oxygen deprivation. So yeah, 1 bullet hole but 2 gunshots. Where were the 2 gunshots? Was it this same pistol? I don't think it was it? Well, this is the pistol that came in the box. Well, he shot it twice to lure Edgeworth away, so maybe not that one. Shot for approximately... Maybe that was what I need to show. The weapon was fired twice. 1 bullet found in heart. Oh, hold up. I think I remember where this was going now. Okay. Single gunshot, then a scream. There we go. Okay. Are you sure you only heard 1 gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. Go figure. The last time I read that DL6 thing was so long ago. I completely forgot about it. No, Your Honor. Unfortunately, you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. I gotta double check. Oh, fuck. Okay, victim data. Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard 1 gunshot. Yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? By the way, where this goes is really cool. I like this case a lot. I like the way it ends. Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when the second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we heard. One of those shots was shot by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot had something to do with the case? Okay, so that's yes. Your Honor, I think I will be able to show you proof. What? Impossible. Now, Mr. Von Carr, must save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? One bullet hole found in the heart. Court bailiff. Oh yeah, the picture. Look at this photograph. Yeah, because Penny mentioned something about the glass breaking. And I'm like, wait, where did that come from? This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the same time of the incident. This photo proves it. So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired where? Your Honor, please get a clue. Show the judge the... It should be obvious. The contradiction is here. I see. A bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Man, I would make a good private detective. Yeah. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. Order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Judge is straight out of elevator. I know, right? He's gonna ask you about TikTok next. Didn't the judge at some point ask like how guns worked or something like that? at At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. What's up, Carmos Andrew? Is anyone else not hyped for the GTA 6 2 trailers? Look, the cutscenes look cool. But I want to see actual gameplay, not cinematic. Oh, I never saw that. I never saw that second trailer. Is that all that is? Is it all cutscenes? That sucks. How you doing, Carmos? Maybe I ain't a dumbass. Maybe you're not. I don't think anyone's a dumbass, really. Honestly, well, maybe there's a few, but I think most people are pretty sensible. Look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The funny thing is we were just talking about GTA 6. It's all cutscenes. I just ain't a GTA guy TV. Yeah. I really liked GTA 5, and that was kind of like the extent of it. Man. It's all cutscenes. That's kind of the weird thing about me. I don't really watch trailers for stuff unless I'm like already really invested in a game. One example would be like MGS Delta. That's the one game where I've actually like followed up on every trailer that came out, even for like Monster Hunter Wilds, which like I usually care a lot about Monster Hunter. I usually grouped all the trailers together and like watched them in like bulk, basically, instead of when they were coming out, like most people did. Mr. Wright, when a gun is fired, is it true that a little man pushes the bullet out? Little man just goes. Oh, we were just talking about GTA 6 being like $100 though. Like, there's no way, especially hearing that the second trailer being all cutscenes. There's no way it's gonna live up to. There's no way it's gonna be good. Come on, man. I hope MGS3 remake. I refuse to call it Delta is good. I hate the name Delta 2. Yeah, I despise that name. I hope it's good too. I actually have a decent amount of faith in it. Like, I'm not amazingly invested into it, but I don't want Konami to keep sucking. I want good exactly. I just want them to do something good for once. I wouldn't be surprised if this court had an actual fight brawling due to how crazy these lawyers are. I bet the lawyers are just hired lawyers that didn't even want to go to lawyer school. They're both faking it. They fucking they're like in Better Call Saul. They went to they faked a correspondence school and then like brute forced their way through the bar exam. Oh, that's fucking cool. The case summary that's on page 1. Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. The second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was one fired by his own son. MGS Triangle is so simple not to just make MGS 3 with some MGS 5 gameplay. That's all they have to do. I know, right? I do like the real-time camo switching. That's kind of cool. You know what? Okay, weird thing about MGS Delta. I was so worried they were gonna make Eva ugly. just the way things are going with like Spider-Man 2. Like, I hate to get into all the Gamergate shit. I'm not like a Gamergater, but when I saw what they did to MJ in Spider-Man 2, I was like, oh no, they're gonna fucking ruin all these characters. It's not that like I think she's necessarily ugly. It was just weird that the one character whose literal job is to be good looking, they picked that character and made her look very uncanny, and like that seemed to be something the industry was doing. So I was so worried that when we saw more MGS Delta, I was like, oh no, they're gonna make Eva fucking hideous, aren't they? They're gonna make Eva hideous, and I'm so glad they didn't. I'm so glad she looks the way she's supposed to, because I could see Konami doing something like that. Joseph Joestar would fit perfectly in this game due to how self-aware he is. I never watched JoJo. Is he like Deadpool or something like that? I didn't know he was supposed to be self-aware. Your Honor, my client's statement is if it's old enough to crawl, it's old enough to brawl. Face scanning devs, technologies made devs lazy. Yeah. Kinda. Peter and Spider-Man 1 remaster and Spider-Man 2 look ugly too. Oh yeah. For real, it's a shame the actual MJ face modeler is so pretty. That's the other thing too. Like, imagine being that lady. Because I've seen her picture. I've seen her. I was so fucking confused. I'm like, who did they bring in? Who the fuck did they bring in? I researched it and I'm like, what the fuck? She looks really good. What did they do? What did they do? It's like, how did they fuck this up? I'm glad you mentioned that because that was one thing that pissed me off when I found out about it. I was like, come the fuck on. Come on, man. It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in the door. Oh, fuck. I'm so glad it's not that, but man, I was so prepared for it too. I was so prepared. Like, it kind of got a tiny bit like that. People were saying the boss looked ugly. I didn't really see it myself, but like then they changed the boss up a little bit and everybody was celebrating victory. They're like, we did it. We bullied them. Fucking same with the Peter Parker model. Yeah, like, I don't know. Ray tracing has made devs lazy. Doom Dark Ages has ray tracing locked on by default. Yeah, it's hardware required ray tracing, which is interesting. I don't know. Ray tracing's kind of it's an interesting topic because when it's done well, the idea behind ray tracing, the reason why it was such a big deal in the first place, is it's supposed to save developers development time by accurately reflecting light. It wasn't supposed to make games look better necessarily. It was supposed to be real time. They could see the changes in lighting instead of having to bake it every single time they wanted to update the map, things like that. So it was just one of those things where it's like, it's supposed to speed up level design. It's supposed to kind of help game design a little, the visual design of like video games. But then Nvidia kind of took it and spun it. The problem is, like, it was a good enough investment for developers, but in order to get everyone to buy graphics cards capable of that, they had to convince consumers that it was cool too. That's where all the fucking hogwash about like ray tracing making games look way better came from, and Nvidia kind of pushed that narrative out, and it's just went completely out of control at that point. Now we are at the point where just about everybody has a ray tracing capable GPU, but I don't know. We completely bastardized that technology, and now it really doesn't mean now. I don't know, because then it started this completely different rabbit hole of like, well, we're ray tracing games, but can we path trace them? And then like, oh, can we, instead of ray tracing, can we ray march? All of this other stupid shit that came out. It was supposed to help developers, and then now they're putting in more work. How much development time do you think Cyberpunk has had, even post-launch, just going into implementing every stupid fucking thing Nvidia tries to push out that like barely makes a difference? It's crazy. The boss is an older lady. She isn't supposed to look that pretty, I think. Exactly. I feel like, I don't know. But I kind of agree with that. Like, I didn't see anything wrong with her new model in the MGS3 remake. Karma says the only face model that actually looks good is Miles Morales, and that's basically the voice actor does all the motion capture on the face. Oh, really? I actually got to play the Spider-Man 2 because I played Spider-Man 1, but not 2. Miles Morales actor name Nadij Jeter. Look at Arkham Knight. No ray tracing in that game's lighting is better. Exactly. Like, if just about every like RE engine game too. What when ray tracing first hit, like Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, I remember seeing so much discourse online. Oh, like the game doesn't actually look better. It looks literally the same. And it's because people were kind of convinced that ray tracing was supposed to make games look better. The reality is RE engine at that stage in its like life, it was just so good at faking realistic lighting. All the lighting is pre-baked. You never see the light change in front of your eyes. Every time the time of day changes in a Resident Evil game, it's behind some sort of transition or behind some sort of loading screen or something like that. It never changes right in front of you, and that's for a good reason. It's because all of that lighting, it's not actual, barely any of it is even global illumination. It's all literally pre-baked into the textures and just kind of mapped out. So that's why they run good but also look really good. It's because all the lighting is done to the simplest capacity possible. So when the ray tracing came out and all of that wasn't necessary anymore, the games ran like ass because it is actually doing that lighting for once, but it looks roughly the same because they just got so good at faking it. So it was a funny situation where like people were installing the new update but just turning off ray tracing, and like the game looked roughly the same. Ray tracing was a mistake. The fuck is path tracing? So path tracing is, oh fuck, how can I? Truth be told, I don't think I have the most complete knowledge of it either. Ray tracing is you feed one ray and then it follows it to its logical conclusion. Whereas path tracing, you're sampling data all across that one ray. So with a ray in ray tracing, it samples it at one angle and then just assumes the data is going to be the same as it traverses through space. Whereas path tracing, it actually samples the surroundings and manipulates the color of the ray. So it's supposed to be more realistic. It's supposed to better reflect light in real life, but it's also a lot more performance heavy because not only are you putting in one piece of data for every ray, that data is constantly updating and it's collecting information from the other rays and then all the models and the textures from the scene, and then it has to do that for every single ray. And then if you have path tracing, also usually involves using more rays, so it's just this endless cycle of just feeding as much data as possible, and it's redundant. It's well, not redundant, that's not the right word. It's what do you fucking call it? What? Something gains. I don't know. I forgot the official term for it. I forgot like the term for it basically, but it's you get less out of it the more you're doing into it. It's purely just like a science thing at this point. I really don't think it's actually that useful. But still, more sexy chicks are welcome, and so no complaints from me. Exactly. I really don't care. I'm not like it's funny, I put a lot of big tits and ass in my streams as like a joke, but like I honestly don't care about like the proportions or anything like that, or like how a woman looks or how a dude looks. It was just weird in the case of Spider-Man 2 because MJ's literal fucking job is to be good looking. She's a model. That's literally what she does to make money. So the fact that they made her look uncanny was really stupid. And the reason why I feared it for Ava the most is because she's a triple agent. She's supposed to look beautiful and she's supposed to seduce Snake and Snake. So if they made her ugly, it literally betrays the entire role of her character. So that was the main reason I was like annoyed by that. And I'm like, I really hope this isn't a recurring issue in the industry. Cause like, I really don't mind it if it's like any other character. I really could not give a shit. But for some reason, it was coincidentally kept landing on every other character that's supposed to look good. So I don't know. Handcrafted lighting will always be superior. Exactly. And it'll always run better. There's design elements to handcrafted lighting too. You can use lights to showcase something in a room that you want the player to see. There's an interesting developer documentary about like Doom 2016 about how they had to go through a lot of effort to make sure the demons always had rim lighting so they stood out from the background so the player could see them easily no matter what the situation was. Like, you can use lighting to convey a lot of really useful information, and with ray tracing you kind of lose that, because ray tracing, the idea is you just move it in real time until you find something that looks good, whereas handcrafted lighting, you actually have to sit down at the start of at square one and figure out, okay, what, you know what, while I'm here trying to make it look good, let's try to make it functional too. So that's kind of, never mind, I am a dumbass. I don't understand why any of the tracing light rays talk me. It's not really a dumbass thing. I should emphasize a little bit. I'm a bit of a software engineer, so that's why I know a handful of this stuff. The layman is never going to understand why path tracing is good. They're just going to know it's better than ray tracing, but that's just what they're told. The reality is path tracing is just a really stupid like iteration on ray tracing that eats up even more I forgot the term. It was just in my head a second ago, but it has even less gain despite how much more you're feeding into it. And then ray tracing is kind of like the step before that. I see the appeal of it. It's supposed to speed up development time. That's the main reason it exists in the first place. The problem is now NVIDIA and AMD and all these other companies had to turn it into a bandwagon to convince people to buy into it so that the game developers could actually use it. So I don't know, just a weird fiasco. It was a cool technology that was essentially really bastardized, and now it's just a dick measuring contest. It's like, okay, how can we get the most realistic ray now? I don't know. Does it fucking matter? It all looks the same. It looks the same but runs worse. Marvel Rivals is a perfect example. I don't care if I'm gooning. Like I should be able to fantasize good-looking women in fiction. That's the other thing too. That's the other thing too. A lot of the time when like a model is made uglier, it's never made in the consideration. It's always with the idea of it being more realistic. And I guess I can kind of get that. But if we're talking like superheroes and shit like that, I really could not care. You know, if there's a difference between like a hyper immersive game like Kingdom Come Deliverance, where it's like literally you are living in medieval times and you have to play the game like you are literally in the Dark Ages, and then like Spider-Man swinging around across buildings and shit. You know what I mean? One of those games I would care about it more than in the other one. I don't care in Spider-Man, dude. I don't care if they look realistic because the whole premise is not realistic. Dude gets bitten by a spider and like just has powers now. It's like, come on. For real, I love women. Men and women like hot shit. Exactly. And the other thing that's so funny about it too, this basically is a tangent. This basically is a glorified chatting stream, but whatever. I'm having so much fun. The other thing that cracks me up so much about like the design is like everybody's like, oh, we want to more realistically depict women in games and how they dress and how they act. And the reality is the baseline for that is not what women are actually like. The women that I talk to every single day, they don't mind wearing a crop top. They don't mind wearing like spaghetti straps and shit like that. So like when you see, it's not like they're in like burqas in like a video game or anything like that, but it is crazy to see them wear like the complete opposite of what you see in real life. It's like, this is completely going against what you guys are telling us you're trying to do. You know what I mean? So weird thing like that. Men, well, even if they do ugly characters as in comedy, not offensive to the audience. Yeah, and I don't know. I like that we're having deep discussions tonight. Honest to goodness, usually when I do this, it's when some of my other stream chatters come in. It's nice to see some new people come into the stream and then immediately get into the deep stuff, because usually that happens once I get like one of the more established chatters in here. Hot take: I prefer women. It's because 95% of the time they aren't making high school look like adults and fan service. Hold on, let me reread that so I understand that. I prefer it's because 95% of the time they aren't making high school look like a. Oh, okay. I guess I kind of see where you're coming from. I love Japan, but they are hella creepy. Yeah. Exactly. Then you kind of have the polar opposite. People, I don't know, like there definitely is Japanese media out there where it takes it too far, and it's like, okay, well now it really is about like the sexual aspect of it. But truth be told, as somebody who mostly, oh, I'm not new. Oh, wait a second. He's talking about Korean webcomic. Oh, I've never heard of these Korean webcomics. Okay, that's funny. I didn't know you've been in here before. That's funny. I didn't recognize that name. Okay, anyways, it's not important. Everybody's having a good time. Where the fuck was I going with this? Anyways, like I was saying, Capcom usually like gets blamed and run into like the whole misogyny, like women are objects group, they tend to get placed in that stereotype. And the funny thing is, if you actually look at Capcom as a company and like all the things that they represent in their games, Capcom actually has a lot of LGBTQ content, which is really funny because I get so many comments all the damn time about, well, Capcom doesn't bow under the liberal agenda. Like that, I get that kind of comment all the time, and every time I see it, it's so funny because then there's like an agender Street Fighter character, there's like a bisexual Street Fighter character, there's like ugly Resident Evil characters, and then there's like sexy goddess Ada Wong, and then it's like manhwa is just Korean. Oh, okay, I didn't know what manhwa meant. I was kind of confused by that too. Okay, that's interesting. Is that something I should bother looking into, or is that a rabbit hole I don't want to look into? Anyways, I don't show up often. Anyways, Capcom has Jill Valentine taking out Super Zombie. Exactly, stuff like that. You know, it's funny when people come to that conclusion when the reality is, if you actually look, they just don't give a shit. They just don't give a shit. They're not misogynistic in any way. They're not like treating women as objects. It's just a lot of the characters they make, they just don't give a shit what they're doing. So I don't know. No, look into it, bro. Jill Valentine, Ada Wong are the go. Exactly. I fucking love those two so much. But man, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh man, what the fuck was it? Capcom literally created Chun-Li, one of the most famous women in fiction. IDK why people act stupid sometimes. Well, I don't know. In the same way, like the way that you say that, I can kind of understand how people come to that conclusion because she also bends over. So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if you look at Chun-Li in a vacuum, yeah, Capcom seems like a pervert company. The problem is then you look at the other characters on the roster and it's like, I also hear the same thing about like Capcom. Oh, all the men in Capcom are muscly and shit like that. And it's like, that's true to an extent, but then you have the weird oddball characters in like Street Fighter 3, like Remy or something like that. And it's like, well, it's not necessarily like everything. Capcom deliberately went out of their way to create a character like that. And then I think there was a character just like that in Street Fighter 5 and like 6 also. I don't know much about Korean manga. So do as you may. Capcom likes fun, sexy bitches who can fight. Exactly. And I like that about them. They don't overcomplicate it like all of these other companies do. Like with again, I hate to go into like the Gamergate bullshit, but the whole Sweet Baby Inc. thing, it's overcomplicating it at the end of the day. Like whatever you feel about it politically or like philosophically, it's just complicating something that really doesn't need to be complicated at the end of the day. Just make whatever character you fucking want. That's a fantasy. Tons of men love seeing buff men. Yeah, that's true. Like it. And the funny thing is in Japan, having like a really buff guy is often associated with being homosexual. It's frowned upon in old school Japan. Especially in like the 90s and the 80s, which is like when most of those Street Fighter characters were created. So society likes fun, sexy bitches who can fight. Exactly. And but even like fun, sexy dudes who can fight too at the end of the day. I think we're just starting to realize, like as a culture, that there's absolutely nothing wrong with just looking good. Like if you have it, just flaunt it. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier, where like they'll design these badass female characters, but they're badass as in they don't do a lot, and then they're female as in like they have no personality, they don't have any like hobbies, there's nothing, they're just quiet and they're silent. And ironically, that feeds into one of the stereotypes they're trying to avoid, which is that women should be quiet and subservient and just do what they're told. So it's one of those things where in the effort to escape the stereotype of women as sex objects, they're objectifying them in a completely different way. So it's almost like you should just make whatever the fuck you want, man. definitely old generations with hella freaky. Conan the Barbarian existed for a reason. Yeah, people like fit, sexy people. Simple as. I know so many chicks who saw Aquaman just because they thought the dude was hot, and I can't blame them. You know what? You want to see what you want to see, and it doesn't even have to be a sex thing. People just like what they like. People just gravitate towards what they like seeing. It really is just as simple as that. I never seen countries hate so much more than China, Japan. Lol. That's like another thing too. Like Japan is so. Again, one of those things where it's like, if you look at Japan as a whole, I can see where the whole Capcom stereotype comes from of like, oh, Capcom is misogynist and they're against this and that. But when you actually pick apart the individual games and the media that they create, you realize, well, they actually don't fall into that Japanese tradition. And there's a lot of young people working at Capcom too, who are trying really hard to escape that, and they're doing it the right way. Like the older senior executives at Capcom would be like, haha, funny buff guy. Whereas like nowadays you have a buff Street Fighter dude, but he's nuanced as a character like Jamie. So it's one of those things where, or even like Zangief, like over time, it used to be Zangief was just the big buff guy and he was gay as like a joke kinda. But then you look into his relationships with like characters like Armika and, Marisa, you look at how he interacts with those characters and you can kind of see more of the modern influence, and it improves him as a character, seeing how he interacts with everybody else, because now he has a personality beyond just it's funny because he's big and he seems gay. So sadly, as a kid, I searched Japan war stories and oh man, I got trauma. Oh really? Shit. The Asian countries have hella bad blood. I know, right? They did not like each other. It's funny. It's so fucking funny. They do not like each other. But you know, I love all those countries all the same. It's nice to have places that are, I don't know. I love beef. I'm a guy who loves beef. I'm a guy who loves hating. I love hating and I love glazing simultaneously. So I don't know. That shit's always entertaining. But where the fuck was I going with all of this? I don't know. Anyways, point being, fucking you know, you can come to whatever conclusion you want, but the real winner in the whole like Gamergate situation, it's just kind of being indifferent to it. I really don't care. Like I remember when Stellar Blade was first getting like censored, I was kind of all over it, because to me it struck me personally as like, oh man, to me, well, no, actually it struck me as a double standard, because when I saw them, this isn't me saying I'm like one of the Mark Kern like bring back, what was it called, like save Stellar Blade. I didn't sign that petition or any of that stupid shit. I wasn't that fucking stupid. But when that game was first having like a series of controversy, I was kind of annoyed because it seems like it was a woman doing it, and that was the problem. Like Doom and Mortal Kombat are allowed to have as much blood and guts as they want, but for whatever reason, as soon as it's a nice, attractive Asian lady holding the sword, now the blood has to be toned down. That kind of pissed me off a little bit, where I was like, okay, but what about Doom? Like what about like half of like the violent games we see? What about like Grand Theft Auto? What about any of that shit? That was the reason, one of the reasons why it pissed me off. And then the other thing was like, you see like the censored Stellar Blade outfits, like pre-censorship, and like, yeah, they're getting there, but they weren't like horrific. And you see the post-censorship ones, and actually it's less censorship and more like design changes, to the point where it's like, oh, I can kind of better understand why they made those changes, right? It's more reflective of like what a woman would actually wear. I legit thought you were doing a reaction to the anime. No. Okay, to clarify, anybody who's here, the title DMC Anime Season 2 leaks is a joke. But you know what? It did actually drag a few people in here, and we're having a really awesome discussion because of it. So hopefully you stick around because you like the discussion we're having. Man, everyone's a sinner in war. Exactly. Like I don't care. Like I was saying earlier, like my family comes from El Salvador. they migrated from El Salvador during the El Salvadorian War. Where, okay, the funny thing is they came to America when it was Americans coming out there and shooting up all the women and children. And it was just scorched earth tactics from Vietnam. I don't hold anything personal against it or anything. They're just following orders at the end of the day. And when you have like, how are you living, man? I'm living pretty well. This stream's been awesome. What was I going on about? El Salvador. So anyways, you know, when you have like rebels in Vietnam, when you have like kids with like bombs and shit like that, you know what? Like I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can understand the mentality behind, okay, we can't leave anybody surviving because literally anybody could betray me. I don't hold it personally whatsoever. Also, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. My dad was. So I think if anyone has any right to have beef with that, it's more him and less me. But fucking, I don't know, dude. Just for Stellar Blade, it sucks that blood splatter on Eve from the demo got reduced for technical reasons. Oh, was it for that would make a lot of sense too. I hope Phantom Blade Zero is fun game. Something Chinese debt. Oh, is there some controversy with that? You know what? I did want to see more of Phantom Blade Zero too, because that game was shown off at it was the State of Play. That was one of the State of Play trailers I actually watched, from what I remember. Okay, funny story. So the very State of Play where MGS Delta was announced, I was at my old cannabis job, and I was bored out of my fucking mind. Just bored out of my fucking mind. I was there. They didn't have any work for us to do, so I was just sitting there dicking around on my phone, and on that same day happened to be the State of Play. I never watch E3. I never watch State of Play. I never watch any of those presentations. I usually don't bother with it. I kind of just let it happen and then just look in my YouTube feed for all the trailers afterwards, because I follow all the major like gaming outlets and stuff like that. So I just look at the trailers afterwards and come to my own conclusion. No controversy for Phantom Blade Zero. I just think I never played never played the Chinese game. I didn't even know that game was Chinese. I thought it was Japanese. That's interesting. That is really interesting. I didn't even know that. They did a recent update with the new Puppet Master boss in Phantom Blade. Shit looks so fucking good. Okay, yeah. Because one of the reasons I was so interested in that game was the sword combat looked really good. Any game with like deeper sword combat than like pressing Y and X sometimes, I'm into it. It's one of the reasons I love Kingdom Come Deliverance so much, because you actually have to fight with the sword like you would literally do it in real life. You actually have to like combo it. You have to hold it properly. You have to like juke people out with it, and the swords don't just instantly cut off limbs like they're depicted in the movies. They're used accurately like baseball bats, because that's what swords did against armor. Like that's the thing. So just the whole anything that like does swords justice. That's a game I want to play, basically. Another reason why I liked what was it, Ghost of Tsushima so much. Chinese have been pushing more info into the industry with Souls-like and character action games now. Yeah, that's been one place where they've kind of been seeping their way in. And I don't know, now that I think about it, I don't know if I played any explicitly Chinese games, and I don't know if I have any opinions on them. I just want good games. Yeah, me too. At the end of the day, I just want a good game. But yeah, Phantom Blade Zero looks pretty cool. Where the fuck was I? So anyway, State of Play, right? The very day, the first time I actually sit down and watch a State of Play, I shit you not, the second I tapped onto it on my phone and like held my phone up to watch it, Naked Snake rises out of the mud. I just barely caught it in time to see the MGS Delta reveal live, and that moment cracked me the fuck up, because I remember reading so many articles that were like, Metal Gear Solid 3 remake gonna get announced. Metal Gear Solid 3 remake gonna get announced. And I've been hearing that for so many years. So many articles that was like, they're gonna shadow drop a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake announcement at the State of Play. I heard that for like 4 fucking years, and I'm like, there's no way it's gonna happen. The very State of Play that I click on, the one that I think is, once again, is never gonna happen, it happens. So really funny. On the fly weapon switching plus dial combos, parries, and contact. Oh, wow. Just want good game. Exactly. So tight. We might have to finish this case another night or something like that. This is such a cool chat stream. Oh, no. But for real, though, like, how do I even wrap up the whole like Gamergate shit? I was talking about Stellar Blade, and oh, you know what? Yeah, I never finished this tangent. So, I thought it was kind of obnoxious in the way of like, women do dress, maybe not necessarily the way that Eve did in that game, but they do dress kind of like that. So the fact that like to go full cover up, like I said, not burqa necessarily, but like to go approaching that level where it was like, okay, come on, like that's just how women choose to represent themselves. I don't have any authority to say what's offensive to women, but if I had to take a gander and look around me at all the ones who surround me, no matter the age, the race, the personality, it seems like they all dress in a way that seems very effeminate, right? So I don't know. I hope Phantom Blade Zero has aerial melee comp. Yeah. Fuck, man. I'm so hyped for games just in general. Like there was a little stint where like I just wasn't that interested. I guess I kind of am still in that stint, but now that you guys are reminding me of all the games I am looking forward to, which is really funny. It's funny. I was kind of looking forward to Doom, the Dark Ages, and then like now that I know more about it, now that it's out and like people are talking about it, it's like, man, I'm glad I didn't pre-order it because I might have been disappointed, like genuinely really disappointed by that. And then hopefully MGS Delta works out because that's the only other game I pre-ordered. I don't really pre-order or buy new games anymore, thinking about it now. I kind of just play whatever I have already in my Steam library, and that's kind of enough for me. The one exception is Delta and Monster Hunter Wilds, and that was basically it. Pretty sure there's launchers and jump canceling. Oh, that's fucking cool. That's fucking cool. Because like what I saw from that State of Play trailer, it did look like a game that like, yes, the mechanics are exactly what I want. The fucking parries, all of that shit, the combos. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about that. More like character action stuff. It's funny that you guys are calling it character action, by the way. I forget who said it, but because depending on which DMC fans you're talking to, those are fighting words. Anyways, no, but I'm glad everybody's having a good time. How the fuck do I wrap up this tangent? Look, man, I don't care if the bitches look good or ugly. I really don't fucking give a shit. But like, just don't like betray who they are. Don't put like a sexy femme fatale. Don't make a sexy femme fatale character and then they look fucking hideous. Like, just don't. At least don't break that rule. I really do not care otherwise. But I do think if you want to if the objective is to better represent women, it wouldn't hurt to take a look. I'm him. That's me. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. That was D&M. If the whole objective behind this whole thing is to better represent women, I don't think it would hurt to take a gander at it. Maybe part of the problem is women dress that way in Japan or something. Well, I don't know, because it's Western games that do it the most. Never mind. So I just want more DMC and less Soulsborne. That's another thing too. I feel like Souls-like is such an oversaturated genre of game now, where it's like, this is fitting music for all of these tangents I'm going on, by the way. I feel like Souls-like is such an oversaturated genre. Like, everybody's making a fucking Souls-like now. I feel like every time I open you know how you open up Google Chrome and it suggests like articles for you, right? That's where I get like most of my info, basically. Every time I scroll down, it's like, here's a new Souls-like it's like Dark Souls mixed with Fallout, and then it's like, oh, this one's like Dark Souls mixed with Bloodborne or something stupid like that. And it's like, cool. Can I get like a different genre? Like, I've played so many Soulsborne games at this point. If you play just the From Software ones, you already get enough of your fill of like Soulsborne games. But the fact that I played like Code Vein and Lords of the Fallen and all that other stuff, and it's like, at this point, it's like, I love those genres of games, don't get me wrong, but how are they selling enough to like maintain it? How is this still a craze? I feel like the whole Soulsborne thing has been so popular for like a decade. It's impossible for me. It's like impossible to imagine that like it's still selling well, right? Such a weird, bizarre thing. I don't know, but yeah, I think if there is like a genre that needs to be better populated, it probably should just be like the character action or like the DMC style, whatever term you want to use for it, like D&M says. I think if we are gonna like oversaturate, if we have to, for whatever reason, then that would probably be the next one, because I think that'll help people better appreciate that kind of combat. Because here's the thing, Souls games Souls games lesser than FromSoft games. I know, right? Exactly, because Bloodborne. Anyways, what was I about to say? Fuck, hold on. Let me reread some chat messages. This is such a cool chatting stream, by the way. Oh, you know what? Okay, here's what I was about to say. So anyways, the thing, you know how when like the Souls games started blowing up, right? And that started becoming the thing. People started integrating mechanics from that genre into like other different games. And it kind of changed how progression works in games nowadays. So I want to see that happen if for whatever reason we have to just completely stretch the DMC style, like character action, slasher, whatever you want to call it, genre too thin. You know what? I think it'll have the positive ramification of like overhauling combat in a bunch of games. Because look what it did to Final Fantasy. It completely changed. Went from like turn-based to real time to like actual like combo heavy, real in-depth, intuitive, innovative combat. So I think it'll have a positive impact if we get more of those kinds of games just in general. It doesn't matter what the genre is. The rest of the industry is going to see that and be all like, okay, this is the standard now for like what we should do in terms of combat in a video game. Because like it's gotten so stale and so boring lately, especially with shooters. So many games it's just you point at something and you shoot at it, and it's fun for like a little, it was fun for so long, but now there's just so many shooters, and it's like you have to like you have to divide them by like competitive like Counter-Strike style shooters, and then like the free-for-all casual like Call of Duty shooters, shit like that. FF16 needed more melee combos. But it's just thinking about that, I'm thinking of the positive ramifications of like, you know what, if we do gotta bastardize and ruin one genre, at least it'll have a positive impact on everything else. I feel like kind of, because like RPGs did the exact same thing too, but RPGs did it in a way that was worse. It kind of meant, because when I think of RPGs bleeding into everything else, I think of like Shadow of the Tomb Raider or a game like that. Just a completely shit progression skill tree system that's just complete ass and has no reason to exist. Like, so I would like to see the industry's take on like a DMC style combat and like integrate that in as many unique ways as possible. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't need to elaborate on this anymore. But for sure, we just need more of those kinds of games. Honestly, can we get more survival horror games too? I feel like a lot of horror games are just I feel like a lot of horror games are like the Five Nights at Freddy's. You guys know the whole like children's horror thing, right? Where it's like, that's like all it is. It's like Gart and the Band and Poppy Playtime. It's like what is it, like Bendy and the Ink Machine, shit like that. Like, yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is cool and all, but can we get like an actual like genuine horror game? Personally, I would really love to see like more horror games inspired by something like Phasmophobia, where it's more about interacting with the threat in a unique and like direct and innovative way, instead of just, oh, I got jump scared, I guess I better retry that level again. Personally, I think Final Fantasy 16 needed irregular full custom and a more meter burn system for iconic strikes for balance. Mascot horror, yeah, exactly. That seems to be like the trend for horror games, and it's like I want to see more of like I don't know. The thing about that is there's so much involved in Phasmophobia. I think it's the learning curve. I think that would be the biggest hurdle if you were to do something like that, because Phasmophobia is such a hard game to teach somebody to play. It took me years to actually get good at it. And not because it's like a skill-based game necessarily. It's because it's logic-based, and it takes so long to learn all that logic, because every single aspect of the game is a random number generator. So like you'll get ghosts that behave like one type of ghost, and it turns out it's a completely different kind. And it's like, how the fuck, how? So one of those things where it's like, on one hand, I would, but maybe that'll work to the advantage of a horror game too. Maybe if you have a completely unpredictable antagonist, I don't know. That could work actually. Now that I think about it. Okay, Five Nights at Freddy's 1 to 6 were literal Flash games. I still had fun, but still, yeah. I kind of like those early Five Nights at Freddy's games. Looking back at them, when it was like a trend back in like 2014, I was the biggest FNAF hater ever. I'm like, this is the stupidest shit ever. I remember hating those games, but looking back at it, you know, especially like FNAF 1 and 2, those games actually were kind of innovative for their time, because like there's so much detail and so much mechanical knowledge to learn about those games. That's kind of new for a horror game. A lot of the time the only other example I can think of as far as like a mechanical horror game is like Resident Evil and then Amnesia, and that's kind of it. A lot of the other ones are just you run away from the threat and then you hide, and then you run away from the threat and then you hide. So or Silent Hill. Silent Hill's the rare instance of like a horror game that has really good combat mechanics, funnily enough. Even though people think combat is very secondary, I think it's more of a primary thing with Silent Hill, personally. I don't know. I kind of want to see horror get expanded on more, but I'm also like the big horror guy, so of course I want to see more horror stuff. I don't know. I love that shit. But yeah. Ooh, 10:30 shit. I think I might have to actually, what's going on next? Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. The murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. I think I'm gonna save Scum a tiny bit. We didn't take any damage this entire time, now that I think about it. We got it like all correct. Murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, the second bullet fired was not found. It was highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet. All we have is the single bullet fire. I want to get to like the next big plot twist and then maybe save it, and then either end the stream, or because I do got to be up early tomorrow. Shit. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. Praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? Aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, my looks like I was wrong. You know what? That might have been a good point to leave off at. I hope when I come back to this next week, I'll remember the context of all this. Hopefully. I don't know. A 1 week break will be a lot better than like a 1 month break like I took earlier. Wow, this stream actually got a handful of views. I am starting to wonder how many people clicked on this stream actually thinking there was DMC season 2 leaks. I don't know. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I don't know. Fuck, I gotta be man, I gotta be up early tomorrow. I probably should just end the stream. But dude, it was so nice talking to all you guys. Man, we got this was like the ultimate chatting stream, honest to God. We talked about so much cool shit. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. THW vibe, it is always good. I clicked because you were streaming. Yeah, exactly. Like DNM probably understood that it was a joke. So in fairness to him, he was probably well aware I was just fucking around. But nah, for real. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. This has been a really fun stream. Honest to goodness. Good night. I am king of chat. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love when chat talks about really deep shit. I love that. I love when it's not just, what do you think of Resident Evil 0? I love those chat messages too, but I like when we actually like talk about gaming as a whole instead of like, do you think Rebecca Chambers like I don't fucking know. I- do you think Rebecca Chambers sucks toes? Like, fuck it. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yo, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Rebecca Chambers sucks toes. Fuck off. Okay, anyways. Oh, fuck. You guys have a good one. Peace out.